Hello and welcome to another Langrisser mobile stream. That's my pizza, and today I will be shoutcasting the Summit der Langrisser top 64 match between Katakuri and Axius. So let's kind of just run down what's going on right here. So we got the Shipwreck Strait, which is a pretty tough map since it has a lot of water on it. So McLean will be pretty useful here, and let's see what's going on with both boxes. So Katakuri's box is pretty meta standard in that it has like Lucretia, Lost Ham, Wedum, Zerida, Neo Zerida, Gintoki, and Lightbringer and everything. The only thing that kind of is interesting about Katakuri's box is he's running Oboro, and that's probably to counter stall teams. So there's that. And then I need to turn this down a little bit. There we go. Here we go. And then looking at Axius's box, it's pretty standard as well, though the kind of interesting bits of his box would probably be SP Matthew, who people don't always run, Leanna, who is pretty much interchanged with regular Elma, and then Leda Genesis, who is pretty much fallen out very far out of favor. And I wonder who Axius is going to first pick here, because his box is a little light on assassins. Like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who he picks, because if he doesn't pick up a tank, then he'll probably have to deal with Wedum jumping straight onto his team. Okay, and he first picks up, Axius picks up McLean here, since this is one of McLean's better maps, since there's so much water. So Katakuri can either pick up his own McLean to deal with Axius's McLean and just erase his water tiles, or he could pick up Polial to do the same, or he can pick up a DPS who he thinks can carry him throughout the entire match. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll see who Katakuri bans here. Also, looking at Axius's box, I think he's kind of gonna go with a more slower approach. So he might pick up Polial here if Katakuri picks up McLean here, or Wedum, and then Katakuri could just ban out Polial and Oh, I just realized that Axius doesn't have Lightbringer in his box, so that's pretty interesting. Also, Elwin's in the Axius's box here. Okay, so McLean is picked up here. So in this situation, Axius could just pick up his own Polial at this point to kind of just make all the water shenanigans less potent. But we'll see. Plus, okay, so Wedum and Polial's banned, and Axius picks up his Polial here. Okay, so yeah, any AoEs would be pretty useful, since yeah, neither side pretty much has healers. Well, Axius does have like a healer pick locked in pretty much. So yeah, SP Matthew would be very good here, or picking up AoE Wedum would be pretty good. Also, hello Punisher, how's it going? So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see who Katakuri bans out. Essentially, he really needs to just ban out, yeah, the remaining AoE. Yeah, so yeah, no more AoE left on Axius' side. Well, there is the Annie, but I personally think Annie's AoE abilities is kind of weak, since she only really has Black Hole, and then her situational AoE, which I'm not a huge fan of, because she needs to get really close if she wants to use it offensively, or if the match goes on long enough. Okay, so it looks like Katakuri picked up IBC here, which could be a bit of an issue, since that'll allow his McLean to run around and do a lot more interesting stuff. It also goes well with the rest of his picks, because he still has Lucretia, he still has Lost Him, he also still has Gintoki here. So yeah, and I think Axius is going to have a lot of issues dealing with that Lightbringer at the moment, since his box is pretty much only one assassin, one kind of AOE unit that is very squishy. And then Lightogenesis, Elwyn, and IBC. Okay, so Krusha and Lostom are banned out here. And that's kind of interesting to see because that leaves a speed buff Kayura up, who has a lot of range, but her range is a little bit shorter since there's so much water on the map. Okay, so Axius' Annie is banned out, and then okay, so the Kayura is picked up here. Interesting. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how Katakuri uses Kayura here, since she has so much range at the moment, and well, she'll have a ton of range with the IBC buff. Okay, so Gintoki and Diehard are banned out. Gintoki for his carrying potential, and then Diehard for his range. And then all that is left is Oboro and Epsilon, and I think Katakuri's probably going to pick up Epsilon here. So okay, and so Axius picks up Epsilon, and now he's locked into a healer. So I think what's going to probably happen is Sissy and Leanna are going to get banned out for their Act Again stuff, and then, yeah, and then Epsilon's going to be picked up here. Or he could pick up Oboro. It doesn't really matter, since Axius doesn't really have any, well, yeah, I don't think Axius has a ton of options to get that Oboro, though he could also just teleport Epsilon in, and then, yeah, teleport Epsilon in and do something silly. Okay, so looks like we have our teams locked in, and I personally think that Katakuri probably has the advantage on Axius at the moment, because he does kind of have some healing and debuff dispels with Kayura, and Kayura can assassinate pretty well. Though the only real targets that Katakuri would want to actually hit with Kayura would be the Lightogenesis, who probably pretty much isn't going to be doing much until later in the match, and the Epsilon, and that's only if Epsilon doesn't have a shield up. But potential-wise, I think Katakuri is just going to have McLean in there to erase the enemy McLean's water, if that ever becomes a thing. And then Axius will use Poliao to erase the Katakuri's water. So yeah, this will be pretty interesting. Plus, Katakuri has a little bit more flexibility with his DPS, since he has his Epsilon. He's also P1, so he could essentially move Epsilon last, run him into the middle essentially, and then just wait to get a trade on either Lightogenesis or preferably Epsilon, since Poliao isn't really a single target unit, and McLean takes a little time to actually get a single target DPS set up. So if I had to put my money on who was going to win, it'd probably be Katakuri. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so it's pretty interesting to see the initial positioning on Katakuri's side, in that he's potentially going to be buffing up Kayura, McLean, or Epsilon to get the speed boost. Though I find it kind of interesting that Kayura is running Shrine Maidens here, since I'm not really sure if she could survive a 3C from Epsilon, even with Shrine Maidens. It also really depends if this Kayura is going to run fixed damage immunity. Also, so it looks like he's going to be speed boosting the McLean, which I kind of don't agree with, since McLean is mostly here to just throw down water and be control. He's not really going to be killing much. and then Kayura, who is running Shrine Maidens for some reason. So yeah, and let's see what's going on this side. So McLean has to, and it's a Polio isn't bringing a guard skill since he wouldn't actually have anybody to guard with, since Phalanx formation only blocks physical attacks, and Katakuri basically has no physical attacks on his side. And the ones he does have are assassin skill, so I'd ignore guard at it anyways. And so this Epsilon brought Shadow Stealth here, which pretty much won't be doing anything since McLean can pop it easily, though I think at the moment he won't be able to pop Shadow Stealth because he has the crystal buff on him. Then Light of Genesis has Strengthen and her 3C at the moment, so nothing too special, though she basically only gets one attack, which won't really allow her to kill the Lightbringer. So yeah, I don't think Axius really has a good option to get past the Lightbringer unless Polio gets in and it basically ignores the Lightbringer stuff but with her AoE. Anyways, so Lord of the Stream goes down. It's really not going to do anything, and yeah, I think Katakuri can pretty much just ignore it for now and just wait for either this water to run out or for Axius to make a receipt play. Also, this McLean has a ton of he has a ton of HP, but his defense is kind of low actually. Though it's probably because he's just not in water at the moment. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, this McLean has a lot of HP. Wow. Like, it's almost like he's running a blood pact on this McLean, which is would be kind of funny. So Lord of the Stream goes down on his end. I think that's mostly just to get the skill up. Okay, so oh yeah, this is one strong McLean on Katakuri's side. Wow. Yeah, that is a lot of attack, a lot of defense, and a lot of HP. Wowie. Okay, so what is... Yeah, so it doesn't seem like much is going to be happening in the first turn or two. It mostly just seems like they're going to be playing footsies until they see an opening. And this Polio only has 3 movement. 2, okay. Alright, so it looks like Epsilon is going to just play it safe, and he brought 2 damage skills as well, so pretty much it looks like Katakuri's just going to have Epsilon clean up or wait till he gets a shield up, so yeah. I think we won't really see much movement. Yeah, we won't really see much movement on either side until maybe turn 3 if both players decide to be really cautious, or turn 1 or turn 2. Like, I think Kayura can move very, very far, so she could. So 1, this be 2, 3, 5, 7, 8 if she really wanted to move up that far. Yeah, I'm very interested to see if this Kayura will actually... Oh, I did not even notice that. 1 second. Okay. Oh, yep. Yep, that's a 6-star. Whoop. And this is a... Oh, yep, that's a 5-star McLean. So, yeah, this water's going to run out. Yeah. That's pretty bold to run a 5-star McLean in this level, because 5-star McLean is not great, to say the least, because this water is just going to run out in a turn. And then, yeah, this Kayura just has so much movement at the moment. She can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so yeah, that's a very dead... So, teleported Epsilon out of range, which kind of had to, because Kayura could definitely just go in and take him out. Yeah, so yeah, I think what's gonna end up happening is Katakuri is just gonna push in slowly until he's forced to engage. Well, until he's can get basically a free pick on Axius, and then he's just gonna keep snowballing from there. Yeah, because essentially what's gonna happen is this Kayura is probably gonna one-shot either Light of Genesis or Epsilon, and then that'll be basically a one-for-one trade. But Axius will just continue to lose threat range as time goes on because Polyao's 3C decreases in range each turn. Oh, and now Katakuri doesn't even need to worry about the stun from Polyao since Lightbringer has mass resist. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't think this Kayura will be able to one-shot this Light Genesis even with Shrine Maidens. Like, maybe if this Kayura has Twilight Star, but that's a really sussy interaction because Shrine Maidens has really terrible attack. Like, compared to, say, like, Glacial Elementals or that guy. Yeah, I know, right? Maybe, yeah, maybe Katakuri just wasn't paying attention to what units he was running. Yeah, it's just... I'm so confused about this build for Kayura. Like, it would make more sense if he ran, whatchamacallit, Faceless with this Kayura, and it wouldn't really matter if he had Twilight Star, and this... Yeah, it wouldn't really matter if he had Twilight Star, because the Faceless would just be getting their talent damage. They'd also be hitting extremely hard against mages. Yeah, I'm just so confused about this Kayura build. But yeah, I don't think Axius has a ton of options at the moment, since Light of Genesis doesn't have teleport, so she can't teleport in. The McLean... So the McLean erases this water tile, but that doesn't really do much. Okay, and he just moves back and does nothing. Yeah, that's kind of a waste of Riptide component. He's not trying to preempt. Yeah. Yeah, like, most holy units with Shrine Maidens would just be running fixed damage immunity in, like, a total box. Like, I played against one or two teams just who ran, like, Kaguya with Shrine Maidens, and they're basically a turtle team. So, yeah. Which made a lot of sense, but even then, that Kaguya was doing not a lot of damage. And her like, main MO in that fight was just to essentially turtle me. And Katakuri really doesn't look like he wants that turtle here. Okay, so Epsilon throws down his Shadow Stealth, which really isn't going to do anything because he's just stuck way back here. Plus, if Katakuri really wanted to lock him down, he could just move McLean up to here and just throw down the water, so Epsilon would have to go, like, all the way around. But that's not really a big issue, since Polyao can throw down her 3C. So yeah, McLean... Katakuri moves up McLean, since he's pretty much under no threat of getting one shot here. And let me see. So this Epsilon can move up 5 spaces, so 5, and then say Polyao throws down her 3C, that'd be 6, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I still can't hit anything. What the heck is going on here? I'm so confused. So yeah, I guess Katakuri could potentially move up Iron Blood here, and, like, here, so she can actually be in range of hitting something, and then if Polyao goes in and stuns her, Kayura can just use her 2C to undo it, and to heal up as well, since Kayura can also function as a healer in some respects. Also, into this Oh, I don't think this Kayura is running Twilight Star. Or maybe she's just not fully casted. Either way. Yeah. Oh, also Axius is... Okay. Interesting. So Poyao moves up 1 and doesn't throw down her 3C. Interesting, interesting. That reminds me, I should probably throw a hand to tier on my Poyao as well, since I think I have some spares. Just haven't built it up because I believe I gave her all of my Lewin's gear. And so, yeah. She's not super bulky. Ooh, and the Lightbringer gets Tenyo's Breeze, which is hilarious. So now Lightbringer can go in and do some mad DPS if she really wants to. And yeah, Light of Genesis really isn't doing anything here. So I guess what... Nah. Katakuri could go in and poke the Poyao if he really wanted to, but that'd really do nothing at this point. He could also poke the McLean, but that'd also pretty much do nothing. Like, substantial. And I don't think... Yeah, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, okay. So Kayura moves up slightly, and this Poyao doesn't have much movement. I think she can just move here and then throw down 3C, but that 3C would only have 4 range, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So she can only hit the McLean at this point. So yeah, Axius is pretty much running out of time here. And yeah, Katakuri is just firmly in control. He can go in anytime as he wants and pretty much do anything he really wants. Yeah, the only thing, yeah, you can just move up Lightbringer, just keep eating up turns on Axius' side until Axius is forced to interact with him. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Katakuri is gonna win this. It's mostly just him trying to see what he's gonna do to keep burning turns, I suppose. If Axius didn't have a Rosen Seal, he could also beat Katakuri could be cheeky and try to stun some of Axius' team, but I don't think he's gonna take that risk, that kind of play, because that's just really risky. Okay. But yeah, it's just kind of hard to see what's going to happen. Axius is running low on time, so he has a whole minute until he runs out of time to move, and then he's pretty much in a tough spot, even though he was already kind of in a tough spot to begin with. But yeah, I don't really see how Axius could really beat Katakuri at this point, because he'd need to get like multiple stuns. Okay, so he throws in Poyao, finally. Does that. And then I think he's going to try to stun somebody here. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. And yeah, nobody gets stunned because I think the one stun was going to go on Lightbringer, and she's probably stun immune. Well, it wouldn't really have mattered anyway, since Kayura has like debuff dispels anyways. Yeah, like I think he should have just tried to stun the Kayura at this point, because then Katakuri wouldn't be able to dispel any stuns, and that'd give Katakuri Axius a little bit of space to actually maneuver. But this Poyao is pretty much going to be dead in a turn. And let's see. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh? That's interesting. I thought 3C decreased in range every turn. Oh, starting from the 4th turn. Okay. Did not realize that. Well, glad I know now. So never mind. Poyao had plenty. Oh wow, and the Poyao survives. That's very interesting. Yeah. I believe Ironblood used the Commander's Ferocity, so it was going through Polyao's magic defense, even though she only has like 500, so probably would have been smart to use Iron-Blooded Glory at this point, since it has a higher damage scaling. Because that definitely would have popped Polio's first life, though. I think Polio's at a point where she's just gonna die to like McLean's whatchamacallit, Ragnarok proc, and then she'll die to the follow-up hit from there. So yeah, kind of a mistake on Katakuri's side to not use... Oh, very interesting, very interesting. Because no matter what, Epsilon, it can hit the Kayura, which is pretty bad, but that's still going to be a very dead Epsilon. Because what Axius could do is he could just go over here with Kayura, smack Polio with like a 2C or something, and just teleport even further back out of Epsilon's range. And that would only leave Epsilon to pick up Ironblood, who has already acted, so she'd pretty much be she's pretty useless in the grand scheme of things at this point. And then it also put Epsilon in a very bad position. And then Epsilon can't assassinate the McLean, since McLean has a revive, and then Epsilon, Katakuri's Epsilon is already out of range, so he's pretty much safe. But yeah, I think keeping the Kayura at this point would probably be better, since he can more easily keep her alive, and she has 4 range anyways, so she's always pretty useful, though her attack will be a little bit lower. Ooh. Yeah, and that's gonna end up with a dead Kayura now. Yeah, I think that was a bit of a mistake on Katakuri's part. Yeah, so Epsilon goes in, and now, oh, interesting. So Katakuri didn't move Kayura there because he was confident that she wouldn't get assassinated. Plus, she had Shrine Maiden, so yeah. I guess those Shrine Maidens paid off. But yeah, now it looks like Katakuri is just gonna get an easy pickup on the Polio or the Epsilon if he really wanted to. So yeah, very, very interesting. Oh, that's a Swordsmith's Kayura. That's no, I don't think that's Swordsmith's. Oh, yep, and that's a dead Epsilon there. Yeah, I don't think that's Swordsmith's because she doesn't have any bonus skill. Yeah, this is pretty much over now since Axius really can't get past that Lightbringer, and the Polio is pretty much in a bad position, so I would probably... Oh, if his green skill... Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I think... Yeah, this is pretty much over. Like, Polio really can't do anything at this point, and Katakuri still has P1 advantage, so... Yeah, there's not much Axius can really do at this point. So yeah, he throws down water, but Polio's gonna die right now, so... Yeah, not a huge deal, and then it's pretty much gonna be a 2 for 0 at this point. Yeah, there's no way Axius can get close to Katakuri. Oh, okay, yeah. So she just used Iron Ferocity again, since she got the clock. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see. Yeah, Axius pretty much conceded there. There's pretty much no way he's gonna win that. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll switch. Well, actually, it won't really matter if I switch to Axius's POV or not. Oh, whatever. So leave that, and then I will just go back. Oh, cross server. Okay, and I'll switch over to Axius's view. Okay, so this time they got Eye of the Desert, which it's a pretty interesting map, though. I'll be interested to see if Katakuri or Axius swaps anything in or out, because I think the way Axius plays, you might want to actually swap in a tank, but I'm not too sure if he actually has any tanks built up, so we'll see. And then Katakuri, I think his playing, everything was pretty much fine on his end. It's just, I think what's going to really determine the difference in this match would probably be the map and also the pick ban phase, because I think Axius didn't have as good of a pick ban phase than Katakuri in the last match. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alright. Yes, it is your new favorite map, with all the restrictive tile, all the sand and all the water and all the trees. Is it your... Lumas, is this your new favorite map because you gotta use Spider-Man so much? And by Spider-Man, I mean Lost him. Anyways. Yeah, there's just been a lot of Lost him running around in the matches I've reviewed. It's kind of funny because, yeah, I think in the last game I reviewed, Lost. Oh, okay, so, looks like Katakuri is gonna go more tank push this round. Very interesting. So Neo Zerida is banned out again since she's very powerful, but yeah. And yeah, I don't think Axius really wants to leave Neo Zerida up as well. Okay, so Neo Zerida is banned out as well. So I think Katakuri is going to pretty much run tank push at this point, because his team looks like it's very built for it at the moment. Thanks, Alistar. I hope that's a compliment and not a backhanded compliment. Or are you talking about eating pizza while watching the shoutcasting? Because that also could be a pretty good experience. Okay, so let's see who Axius picks up first. I honestly would not be... Okay, so it looks like Axius picks up Wedum first, which isn't a bad pick since Wedum can go both single target and AoE, but I feel like his AoE is pretty much... Yeah, his AoE is pretty weak, and he's kind of like Die Hard in that he's pretty much a one-and-done guy. So, honestly, I think it might have been better to pick up Gintoki here, since Gintoki is a lot more snowball-y, and he's a lot stronger. And yeah, Axius is running into the issue where he is running into, essentially, a tank, no matter what he does. And... yeah, just kind of thinking back to the first game, Axius probably wanted to actually ban out Lightbringer since his box is so single target focused. Though at this point, I think he might actually want to swap to kind of an AoE-ish style right now, and start banning out healers. Like he'd want to ban out Rosenseal and then Sissy White, I guess. But I probably would have banned out Leanna here, since she has Act Again and she has a lot of debuff dispels, and she also has her 3C, which can stack stuff. Also, thanks for the compliment, Alistar. Honestly, I should speak a little slower because I don't think my voice is fully trained to go on for this long. But it looks like Annie is picked up here, which is fine. Only a few units can really benefit from her portals, though, and yeah, I don't think she's really going to get an opportunity to go in and throw in her AoEs at this point. It probably would have been better to go with SP Matthew at this point, because I think SP Matthew is going to get bound out here, and same with Polio, yeah. And then Leanna's picked up. Yeah, honestly, Polial or SP Matthew would have been a better pick than Annie at this point. So, what is going to happen here? So, I believe Axius is going to have a hard time dealing with this stuff. I think at this point, Katakuri probably could go Lucretia and then pick up another DPS unit like Lost Him or Gintoki. And honestly, I think Axius is going to have a very hard time dealing with this current combination, since he's probably pretty much kind of forced to go a little bit mix of AoE and assassins. Yeah, Epsilon probably was the best pick in this situation, since yeah, probably he was the best pick in this situation. I haven't actually gotten the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the Switch. I could, but I've had issues with beat 'em ups in that I kind of get bored of them if I'm not playing them with a friend. But then again, that's probably just me. I kind of like constant action. I really love me some platformers, and I love me some tactics games. But let's see. So looks like Wedham and Die Hard were banned out here. And then McLean and Iron Blood were banned out on Axius' side. So Axius is only left with pretty much one more DPS, which would be Lightbringer. Not Lightbringer, but Light of Genesis. And she'll probably, what's going to happen is Epsilon is just going to move out of range, proc his Shadow Stealth, and then he's going to just teleport him in to see if he can get a easy pick on Katakuri, which honestly is going to be kind of hard. So yeah, Lost Him is thrown down. Pretty good pick here, as if you watch the last TSDL match, Loomis was having a ton of fun with Lost Him, and on this map as well. All Katakuri needs to do is pick up Iron Blood here, and we'll have this repeat of those Loomis matches. Loomis, I hope you're watching, because we're going to see some blood be spilled in the exact same style you used. Oh boy. This is going to be very messy. Yeah, I will say, I think Katakuri pretty much won pick ban in this situation, because Axius doesn't have a very solid way of killing off Katakuri's 3 DPS units. Like, Annie will probably reflect enough. Well, actually, if Axius is running Tempest Robes, then he won't die to reflect from Annie. But yeah, there's no real way for Axius to get in and just start assassinating stuff, because Epsilon is pretty much his only assassin. Oh yeah, those shenanigans too. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's just Katakuri has so much more range on Axius, and Lost Him can pretty much just solo Katakuri's entire team. Yeah, and even if, I don't think Axius really had a good way to deal with all of Katakuri's DPS. Like, he's not running any tanks in his box, which I think is a huge flaw. Why isn't that Leanna running healing monks? I am so confused. So yeah, Annie's not running the usual setup on her, because she's running sorceresses, so she's definitely not gonna be reflecting damage back. I wonder if is this also a 5-star Annie? No, this is 6-star. This is a normal Wedham, but he's not running flyers, which is a huge mistake on this map, since Lost Him. Yeah, Lost Him's just gonna get speed boosted here. Okay, so Shadow Stealth goes down. Axius is definitely gonna lose a unit this turn, because Iron Blood can just speed boost Lost Him. Lost Him's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like hook shot onto either this tree or this dune, and then hit something way back here, and he's gonna one-shot him. And he can use his 3C freely as well, since there are no tanks on Axius' side. And then Annie can pretty much just set up her portal anywhere, and then Lost Him would pretty much be safe. This, yeah. Like, the only thing he could do at this point would be to teleport Epsilon into a range to counter kill Lost Him. But the thing is, with any support and Leanna support, Lost Him can pretty much just go in, kill something, get acted again, and move out, just run away, and then turn to do the same thing all over again. So yeah, I don't see how Axius is gonna really come back, because yeah, Lost Him's just gonna kill so much stuff in so little time that Axius won't have time to actually respond or even do anything with Wedham. And yeah, even the Wedham pick wasn't great, since Lightbringer can just ignores heal reverse anyways. Like in this situation, he probably would have wanted to run the AoE skill on Wedham just to get something done, but even then, Leanna would just dispel that stuff, and she also has her 3C to actually just get rid of any debuffs Axius would want to throw on. So yeah, I'm not seeing a good way for Axius to approach this. Huh? What? Why? Okay, he can do that, I guess, but what Katakuri is just gonna do now is he's just gonna set up guard with Lightbringer and then just ignore the Wedham, because the Wedham is not gonna do anything to this Lightbringer at all. Like, one of the main reasons why Wedham has fallen off so hard is because of Lightbringer. Like, Lightbringer resists his debuffs. She's very tanky. She can ignore dispels. Yeah, it's just, if you really wanted to first pick Wedham, you probably should have banned out Lightbringer. And so Annie is going to be setting up her portals here, which, okay, that's okay, but I'm just confused at what it'll actually do. I guess you could teleport Leanna forward if he wanted to, using the portals, after acting again one of his units, but who would he want to act again anyways? Okay, so Annie's just going to set up her portals here. I think it'll probably be right there, and then the portal like right back there. That works, I guess. It gives her more range, so she can start throwing out single target attacks next turn. But unfortunately, Katakuri won't be able to use those portals with his Lost Him, unfortunately. But it's not a big deal. Yeah, personally, I think throwing the portal here would have been a better idea, since Axius' entire team is like grouped up here. And so that would just act as more pressure for him to stay back, as Lost Him just goes to town on Axius' entire team. Yeah, because what would have happened is Lost Him would... Oh wait, I don't think Lost Him can run over here yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just one space out of range. So he couldn't do it this turn. Oh, that's a shame. But if he threw his Lost Him... Yeah, if his Lost Him was actually in the center right here, with Lightbringer right there, Ironblood right here, and then Annie right here, then he could have had that set up. Yeah. Yeah, if Katakuri's watching that, you can do that. If you want to have your Lost Him apply more pressure, you can do that instead of having like the full teeth formation at the beginning. Okay, so essentially Lost Him is setting out to go completely bananas on Axius, and it's going to be very messy. If only I knew how to do the DK wrap, I would start DK wrapping when Lost Him goes in and kills something. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. Ugh! Waka waka, ow! His, furious duel. I'm gonna stop there. Can fire in spurts. He'll smash ya. It's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. It's gonna hurt. Definitely. Ah, brother. But yeah, I think Axius is just kinda thinking of what to do if he actually wants to send in Wedham, because if he sends in Wedham now, that'll be a very dead Wedham. And yeah. Yeah, Wedham really can't do anything. And if Lostum is strong enough, he can just one-shot the Wedham, especially with a Furious Duel. Okay. So I think what Katakuri doesn't really need to be very specific with his Leanna. I think what he's just going to do is just move Leanna up here, throw down... Oh, he's going to throw down Octagon on Annie. Interesting. Can she move up here? I'll be interested. Because what... Okay, yeah, so she's going to throw in and one-shot the Wedham. And that's a very dead Wedham. So here I thought Lostum would be carrying, but no, Annie gets first blood. And teleports all the way back, and then Katakuri is down 1-0 and cannot respond, and now he still has Lostum here to fire in spurts. What was the verse with Tiny Kong? Makes crushing launch is such a breeze. That's Chunky Kong. Funny face is Lanky Kong. Yeah, Tiny. I really don't remember that verse, and I really wish I did at the moment. I'm gonna have to rewatch the Donkey Kong rap right after this match, so I remember for next time. Okay. How would that apply to Annie? I guess Annie is quick and nimble when she needs to be. And she can hover with her twin tails as well. Ah, man. Okay, but yeah, there's really nothing Katakuri, Axius can do at this point. At this point, he's just kind of playing with his food. Okay. Also, thanks for the save, Amma. I do not know what I'd do without you. All my monkey-themed raps would be thrown into disarray. But yeah, I think this is pretty one-sided. Also because Katakuri might be a longer player, and he might just have stronger equipment and chance and units, as we kind of saw in the last match. And that's just kind of the nature of the game, is that people who've played longer or spent money will have demonstrably stronger units. Well, Axius, he may have not been around long enough to actually get a lot of really strong units built up. So there's only so much he can do at that point. But also, I think Axius's pick ban phase also didn't really give him a lot to work with. In that first match, I believe Axius's box is a lot more single target rushy, a single target rush type box, so it has a bit of a hard time dealing with very strong tanks like Lightbringer, or even Hilda if she's well built. So yeah, there's only so much Axius can do at this point, and then Axius also didn't have any real good defensive options, so essentially he has to deal with Lostum just going in and just one-shotting his entire team with his ranged skills. Yeah, but hey, also playing against stronger players also gives you a good opportunity to learn on how to play better as well. Like, when I first started playing Apex back in, I think, Season 3, I was absolute trash, and it took me a while to get up to speed with the current meta. But the only way I got better was just playing a lot of Apex, and even though I was playing against stronger players, I get up to a point where I could recognize their weaknesses in their boxes, and then how to actually build a very strong box as well. And essentially I'm here right now shoutcasting Langrisser Mobile in my free time, thinking about DK raps. Alright. So yeah, there's not really much Axius can do at the moment. The Shadow Stealth on Epsilon's gonna run out in a second, and pretty much he's in a position. Epsilon's in a position where his shield can get broken for free, and he can get stunned by Lost him pretty easily as well, since Epsilon doesn't have a ton of skill. Yeah, and yeah, there's not really much Axius can do, even if he got close enough. Okay, so Epsilon gets a speed boost here, but it's really not going to do much at this point. In all honesty, what's going to happen probably next turn is Katakuri is just going to go to the portal and just go in and one-shot the Light of Genesis. Alternatively, he could go in with his... Yeah, alternatively, he could just go in right now with Lost and kill off the Light of Genesis and just port back here or something. Yeah, so he could just stand here, 1, 2, 3, move back here, teleport there, and then Epsilon has 7 movements, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so unfortunately he would be in range to get hit, so I guess Katakuri could just wait one more turn for that breeze to run out. This Punk's got style. So listen up, dudes. She can shrink in size to suit her mood. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. But yeah. I think all Katakuri needs to do right now is just burn a turn, because honestly, he's not going to be doing much, and he can always just reapply the speed boost next turn anyway, so it's not a really big deal. I think he's mostly just cannoning out the squares on this Epsilon, because Epsilon will be able to move how many spaces? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, if he ended up on this dune or that dune, he'd pretty much be dead. Alright. Yeah. And now Axius only has like less than 15 seconds to actually move, and I think he's gonna get... Okay. Okay, there we go. So that happened. Like, I guess... he could have just Shadow Stealth like further up here and then prayed to God he doesn't get heal blocked and then heal the Epsilon, so he doesn't die immediately, but I don't know. Yeah, but there's really nothing Axius can do at this point. I think what's going to happen is he's just going to lose a unit for free, and then... No, that act again's not quite up yet, though. Annie's portal is up this turn. So what Annie could do is she could teleport in, kill off the Light of Genesis. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I agree, Loomis. I think Axius's box construction at this point is really holding him back. Yeah, like T-Jess and Leanna really aren't doing much at the moment, since both units are more tank push style, and Axius isn't running a tank at all. So you probably want to consider swapping in a tank. And then T-Jess just isn't that great for this meta, because this meta more favors a lot units with a ton of range, a lot earlier, and who are a lot faster. So yeah, this Leanna can't even act against this Epsilon since he's out of range. Yeah. So yeah, Leanna moves there, and then Lawson pretty much has free reign to do anything he wants at this point. It's just, don't know why that hasn't been done yet. Because we're at the point where Katakuri can just go and kill off a T-Jest, move back, lose his Lost him, but then finish him off with one of his other 2 DPS units. Ooh, Dimensional Explosion goes down. Nice. breaks the shield, gets the reset on that. Ooh, and now she gets to throw down her portals. Oh yeah, and this is going to be a dead Epsilon in a moment. So other one was only space thrown down there to apply the debuff pressure, which, whatever. And then, yeah, he's gonna go in, smack the Epsilon, and kill him off. And then Axius pretty much has nothing left. He has 2 units who. Why did he attack from 2? Ah, whatever. It doesn't even matter at this point. Yeah, like, if he actually decided to do that, he could have just stood there, moved, like, 2 spaces, and probably grappled all the way back to this pillar. Oh, wait, I think that would just be 1 square out of range. But yeah, this is pretty much over. Well, actually, it's been over for a while. I think Axius probably just should surrender at this point. But yeah, he's pretty much out of moves, out of time, and out of units. Yeah. That does a decent amount of damage. She should have teleported forward. That would have been funny and unexpected. Yeah, but what else can happen here? I guess Iron-Blooded could go and just kill off the Annie if he really wanted to. Though it probably would have just... It'll probably be better to just use Annie right here and then teleport back. And then goes all the way back, and then she's perfectly safe. Hooray! So yeah, the only real target Lady Jens has is this Lostum, and then I don't... Yeah, there's no way this Lostum will die to anything this really low. Yeah. Yeah, just kills off the troops, but yeah. Well, I commend Axius for sticking it through till the end, but sometimes, yeah. Well, good on him for not giving up already, but sometimes you need to recognize that you're just not in a good situation. But yeah. Furious dual stuns the Lightogenesis, and then Lightogenesis is down. And then, yeah, it's 3 for 0. 3 for 0 for... Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the game. Like Loomis said, I think Axius' main weakness is his current box construction in its pick ban phase. Specifically, he's kind of running a tank push-ish style box at the moment, and he really needs to gear up his box, well, his box, so he can actually get out his heavy hitters while being able to counter off his opponent's bans. So there's that, and I think just improving his pick ban phase would be best in this in the future. Specifically, just recognizing his box's strengths and what its weaknesses are, and then banning out those units that can really mess him up. Anyways, that's all from me. I'll get this recording back up. Well, I'll get it to YouTube probably within a day or so. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time. And also, just shout out to Amma for helping me with the DK wrap. Bye.